Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, my name is Mitch. I actually make videos about my life here in Canada and also my past life back in Singapore and Japan. So today I kind of just wanted to share with you the things or my experiences living in Singapore. I was actually watching Singapore Social, so regardless of what people are saying on how bad it captured Singapore, it made me miss the city so much. So I kind of wanted to give you kind of my top 5 things that I really liked about in Singapore and why you should move there. So let's get started. First thing, food. I miss Singaporean food like so much. There's so many good things or so many different flavors in Singapore. I'm not sure if like a lot of people know, but Singapore is a mix of different cultures, so different flavors from Chinese food to Indian food to Malay, and they kind of mash it all together, and it's so good. I love the food so much. The one thing I really liked about there, and one thing that's really convenient, is you can go to a hawker center. So hawker center is basically like a large food court, which is non-air conditioned, and they have like different stalls that sells different stuff, and it's relatively cheap. So you can probably get like maybe a chicken rice for like $2.50 or $3, which is something that I don't think you can get here in Toronto. So you can go to those hawker centers. It's so convenient. The food is amazing. It's very clean, and as you can see in the hawker center itself, the food and health safety actually audits each store. So you can see like the letter A, B, I think there's C as well. So A is the highest or cleanest stall that you'll be able to go to, and I like it because whenever I go find food or whatnot, I would see how clean and how rated the store is. So I really liked it. It's amazing. Hawker centers are, if you just watch Crazy Rich Asians as well, when Rachel landed in Singapore and they went to this large food court, and they have like tons of food. I think that was in Newton Hawker Center, and it's so good. Oh my god. Anyway, so food, I think in Singapore there's just much more variety. I think in Toronto there's so many like different food and like Asian food itself, but I think in Singapore there's so many smaller stalls that I really like. You don't have to go to a restaurant to sit down or go to something like self-serve. In Singapore there's so many like you can just take away like small portions, which I like because I love snacking. So I think that's one thing that I really liked about the convenience of like going for food. Second, the really biggest advantage of moving to Singapore is that it's very safe. So when I say safe, I basically can go walk around alone. As a woman, I'm so small, I can pass as a 12-year-old, but I can go and walk, or even I go running before. In my university days, I would go running at 1 a.m. and I would not fear for my life. Like, I think in Canada or in Toronto itself, because it is a big city, even at like 10 or 11, I'm very apprehensive to go outside because there's, a lot of shooting nowadays that has been going on, and in Singapore that's something that I've never really had to worry about. So when I moved here, it was it was a big change. Like same in Japan, it's super safe, that I always have to remember that this is not Japan or Singapore, and I have to make sure that if I'm going out, I have to be vigilant. So that was something that I really liked about Singapore. It's super duper safe. I can even walk like at 4 a.m. and no one would even bother me in like small alleyways. I don't think I've ever felt that I was being followed, or I never felt like I was unsafe in any way. Like for 10 years that I lived there, I never did. But that's really one thing I really liked about there, is that it's super duper safe. Okay. Third thing, and why you should move there, is public transportation. I cannot stress this enough about how good I took it for granted, and in Japan as well, of how good the subway system is. Like TTC in Toronto is good. Yeah, I think, it's very reasonable, $3. I think it's cheaper in Singapore, by the way. But it always breaks down. It's not really that extensive. If you live in Singapore, you can get by everywhere just by MRT. I think, that's something that I really miss about living there, and like why I think that it's really, really great, is that everywhere you go, there must be like a subway station. Like here, it's either you go to a subway station, you walk a little bit, and then you take the bus, which will take you like, I don't know, 40 minutes or 30 minutes to get to. Even like going to the airport, there is the GO train that goes directly to Toronto Pearson Airport, but there is the TTC. You still have to take a bus. But like in Singapore and Japan, there's like normal subway stations wherein you can go there just by using the train. And I really, really kind of miss that, because like it's just so convenient. And I mean, I live in a place where the bus stop is literally just like a minute walk, but I miss the time where I just have to go to the subway station or go walk, and it's just like very near to the place that I'm going. So I think public transportation, it cannot be beat. Singapore and Japan, for me, are like very top notch, and I think Toronto has to keep up with the public transportation. All right, so third thing I really liked about there, and this is just my preference, I really love the weather. I know a lot of people are saying, oh my god, Singapore, it's so hot, welcome, you're gonna be sweating so much. I mean, like when I moved here, because it's 4 seasons, like in Japan it's the same thing, but winter here are very harsh. I just kind of took it for granted, where all year round it's summer, it's sunny. Yeah, we have rainy days back in Singapore itself, but I wouldn't have to worry about, my dog, about, there would be months that I won't be able to walk him that long, that he would have to stay indoors, or if like it's like there's snowstorms and stuff like that, I won't be able to, bring him around. Second, I'm a runner myself, and I love running in the heat. That's something that I honestly prefer. And that's something I always have to think about in here, is that whenever I go out, because in winter, I trust me, I tried running in winter, and I'm just like, no. It's not for me. Like, I had a scarf on, I had like gloves and stuff like that. It's just like nightmare, like never again. But that's just something that I really miss about the weather in there, is that it's all year round summer. And this is just my preference. I think I know a lot of people saying, I can't stand Singapore, it's so hot, I miss the 4 seasons. That's them. But for me, it's just like, I love it. So I think that's really kind of like why I really miss being able to run outside, being able to walk my dog every day, not have to worry about winter season. But yeah, spring is nice, don't get me wrong, I love spring and autumn, but I prefer all year round summer. But yeah, fourth thing, I think what I really miss about Singapore as well, and what's really great about there, is that it's very convenient. So when I say convenient, in different many small things. So one thing I really liked about there are the banks. banks in Singapore is just amazing. I can't stress enough about how convenient the banks are there. Everything is online. You can do everything online. Settings, or you don't even have to talk to anyone. You just have to do everything through your computer. And even though I've said that, it's also quite secure. Singapore is a small island. If you do a crime there or whatever, people will catch you right away. So I didn't have to fear about, identity theft, or I didn't have to worry about my data being shared or anything like that. And my debit card in Singapore, I didn't even need a credit card there, would work everywhere in the world. And my TD, I'm calling out TD Toronto, my card, I called in even before I went for a holiday. It did not work overseas. I don't know if it's just me. It happened to my boyfriend as well. So I just feel like banks in Singapore are unbeatable. It's just the best. Convenience about paying bills. Everything is online. I know in Toronto everything could be online as well, but I just feel like in Singapore there's like much more convenience that you can pay your bills. You can either pay that through online, or there's like kiosk that you can go to. It's just so amazing. Okay, so last one, I actually lost count, but I think like in Singapore, if you are moving there as an expat or you're just new to the city, I feel that it's very easy to make friends, or at least when I moved there. There's so many groups that you can join to. One group that I really liked, just because I love running, is that I joined this group, running club, and I've met so many great individuals, and I've made really great friends by joining that exercise. I think it was a boot camp / running group, and I've met so many good friends that are my friends until right now. And I think that's really nice about moving into a new city, because you don't know anyone, and it's very important for you to make friends and to establish those networks or connections. And I really think it's easy to make friends there because there's so many different groups, and also it's easy in a way that because it is a small city, everyone knows each other. I know some people who tells me as well that it could be very difficult to make friends because some of them already have established their group or circle of friends itself. But I think it's also to a point where, because it is a small island, it's a small city, you can easily kind of make friends, new friends as well. So I think in Toronto it's almost the same. I think anyway, wherever you move to a new city, it's always going to be difficult to make friends. But I think in Singapore there's just so many like different groups. I remember going to or looking into running groups in Meetup. There's just so many. There's like a hiking group. There's also like a group for dogs that goes hiking, and that's really one thing I really liked about there, is that it's just so easy to make friends. So I think, with everything I've mentioned, and everything from, safety, food, convenience, from weather, from making friends, Singapore is just a place where it's just so, it's like a theme park, convenient. When you're there, if you're visiting, you're probably going to be like, oh, I want to move here. And then it's kind of to a point where you get very comfortable. That's how I felt, I guess, and why I left at the same time is because I felt like I was not growing as an individual. But now that I moved, to Japan and here in Canada, I kind of miss everything that is Singapore. And in Singapore Social, if anyone here watching, and if you watch episode of Singapore Social, regardless of what people are saying, I've watched all episodes, full season, and I hope they make a season 2. It just makes me kind of really reminisce about my time there. And my dog is from Singapore, and he had like friends there, and my friends until now are actually in there, my cousin as well. So I think for me, it's just much more because that was my home. That was my second home. And it's a place where you can pretty much buy everything that I needed. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoy my video. If you liked my content, or if you like whatever I said, you can subscribe. I'll put it in here or here. You can also click on the notification bell so that if I create a new video, you'll be notified about that. If you have any experience or any question at all about moving to Singapore, or if you're already in Singapore and you wanted to ask me some tips, recommendation for food or anything like that, happy to do so. Just leave your comment. What the hell am I talking? Just leave your comment down below and I'll be sure to get back to you. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys soon. Ta-da! Bye!